Welcome back in to Exit 99 Sports. As always, I am Caleb DeLoach, and we are officially in the month of May. So, that means, I've seen prom just happen this past weekend. We're figuring out the graduation schedule for the seniors. We're right there, almost here on summertime, and, it doesn't feel possible, but yeah, we're wrapping up the spring sports calendar. There's not a lot of time left. We're already in the postseason in a couple sports. We're getting ever so closer in a few others. So, yeah, we're at the very, very end of this high school sports season. It's exciting in some ways, seeing the postseason and, celebrating some of these achievements that teams will reach and the runs they'll go on in the postseason. But also sad, you're completely putting a door closed on a lot of people's high school seasons and careers. And yeah, we're going to have a long summer to talk about something. We'll figure that out when we get there. We have a few weeks still of, actual sports happening, but we will definitely find something to talk about. I'll always have something to talk about. You put me in front of this microphone, I can do that, let me tell you. So, a little behind the scenes here. We were unable to record on Sunday evening when we usually do, so I'm recording Monday, which means there's a lot of these games that are going on right now. This will probably be coming out Tuesday, hopefully Tuesday afternoon. So forgive me for that. Bear with me on some of the insight and things I don't know. This is going to be old news to you, but I'm going to be keeping up and paying attention to what's happening at the SEMO Conference Baseball Championship game, which should be first pitch at time of recording in 3 minutes. So before we get to any of that, we will talk about this past week. And that starts Monday, April 28th, and I'll start with baseball. And, that Monday, the train keeps rolling. Over at Cape Central, they beat Kelly 5-1. They have not lost in about a month at this point. They're playing phenomenal. They are pitching well. They're hitting extremely well. They're scoring a ton of runs. And, yeah, they've been playing really, really well. Coach Palmer, his boy Keegan Palmer, really leading the way. And Cape looks great. And, like I just kind of alluded to, they made their way into the conference championship game. So we'll get there here in a moment. But, yeah, they kicked off the week, 5-1 win over Kelly. Kelly's a decent squad. They have some pretty good players. Ross Peters, great multi-sport athlete. Good pitcher and hitter for them. But Cape comes up with the victory. We had some rain this past week, so we lost a lot of games on Tuesday. But Wednesday, Saxony took on a solid Bell City program. Bell City got that win 2-0. The most, so tough loss for Saxony. Low scoring there, pitcher's duel kind of. But maybe the most notable thing that happened on Tuesday, Scott City's undefeated season came to an end at Kennett. Kennett knocked them off 3-2. Kennett, I said it a few times, maybe a little bit down this season, but a very, very good program. Scott City kind of moving up a little bit in size, going to Kennett, and Kennett knocked them off. So Scott City, I assume they'll still stay up at number one in their class. Only one loss on the year, so big win for the Kennett Indians. And then this past Thursday, Saxony bounces back. Offensive explosion, 10-5. They knock off a decent advanced program as well. So a good win for Saxony and helping them out here at the end of the week. And then Friday is when we jumped into the SEMO Conference tournament, as I mentioned. I just kind of talk about it round by round. Poplar Bluff was the 1 seed. They played Kennett. They won their first round game 3-1. In the 4-5 matchup, Jackson was the 4, Dexter the 5. Jackson beat Dexter 12-1. Just solid, handily winning that ball game. Drew Parsons got the start. The game only lasted 5 innings. He went all 5, only gave up 2 hits, 12 strikeouts on only 92 pitches. Kind of stuff you expect out of Parsons. Phenomenal multi-sport athlete, committed to SEMO already. He plays catcher, good pitcher for this team, quarterback obviously for the football team. So a good athlete, kind of showing off the arm there a little bit. Pitched really, really well. And then got a little help, a lot of help from the offense. A little bit of everybody contributed, knocked in a bunch of runs. I know Cale Crowley and Cale Crowley, and Matt Carter each got 2 RBIs, kind of lead the way. So they pound Dexter in the first round. Also in the first round, Sykeston, who's the 2 seed, beat Kelly the 7 by 1, 6-5. And then Cape, first round, little in-town rivalry. Cape played Notre Dame, the 3-6 game, and Cape came up victorious there. I mentioned earlier Keegan Palmer. He got the start in that one. Cape won 4-2. Palmer went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 walks, 7 Ks. So a little all over the place with the walks, but got outs when he needed to. And then TJ Boland was on the other side. He's, coming up on the losing end of this one. Phenomenal outing for him. He went 6 innings as well, 2 strikeouts, 3 hits. One of the better matchups you'll see in Cape County, Keegan Palmer and TJ Boland, 2 of the better pitchers we got. So a great pitchers duel. Just broke Cape's way like things have really here lately. They have been, like I said, over and over again, they've been playing really, really well and just keep finding ways to win. Sometimes they do it, big offensive outputs, putting up double-digit runs, and then, they got the arms when they need them to really shut other teams down. And speaking of offensive explosions, on Saturday in the conference tournament, we're in the semifinals. I was over at Cape Central, and Jackson Poplar Bluff played, and then Cape and Sykeston played. Jackson knocked off the 1 seed Poplar Bluff, which is their second win against Bluff on the season. And we mentioned last show how anybody felt like could really win this tournament because everybody had beaten everybody, it feels like, in the SEMO conference tournament. Poplar Bluff was the one, but Jackson had already beaten them. Cape was the 3 seed. They'd beaten Jackson. Notre Dame had beaten Jackson, but they'd lost to Dexter. So it was kind of a jumbled mess. So the seedings, you could just kind of put them in a hat and pick them out however you wanted. And we got to the semifinals. Like I said, Jackson 3-0 over Bluff. Max Blackburn got the start. He went 5 innings, no walks, no runs, 4 hits. Phenomenal start for him. Peyton Kite got 3 hits. Noah Moore had 2 RBIs. So a just well-played ball game. Great pitching by the Indians, shutting down a good Poplar Bluff team. And the Indians just got just enough runs. Cape, however, no stranger to scoring runs in the afternoon there. They knocked off Sykeston, the 2 seed, 14-6. Hayden Bowers had 3 hits, 2 of them doubles, and 6 RBIs in the ball game. He matched Sykeston's offensive output by himself. So big-time game by Hayden, and that punched Cape's ticket into the championship for the first time since 2006. Cape had a very, very good team in 2006. I want to say that was Matt Hester and company. They were very, very good back then. So they are in the championship, which, once again, you know the outcome. I don't know the outcome of. So Cape and Jackson meeting. First matchup, Cape got the better of the Indians. One on a walk-off single. And Cape loaded the bases, and then the catcher, McNew, came up, got the game-winning hit. We'll see how this matchup goes. It should be a good one. Both teams playing well at the moment. Cape, absolutely on fire. I think 9-game win streak right now. Jackson, I want to say, is on a 5-game win streak on their side of things. So both teams playing really, really well. And, Cape Jackson. What's better? There's nothing better. It's the most... one of the most heated, one of the most fun, the bigger rivalry, the 2 biggest schools in the area. So, it's the best. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun whenever you have, Cape and Jackson meeting up over at Kappa Hall. It just makes it a little bit more special. But yeah, Cape Central playing really, really well right now. They have not lost, here we go, since April 12th. They beat Jackson on the 15th of April, 5-4, and have not turned back since then. They're playing Jackson, obviously, right now as I'm talking to you. They have a decent schedule coming up, but a schedule they can keep picking up wins. They have, outside the tournament here, they'll have, Bluff, St. Pius, at Marion might be tough. They'll play at Notre Dame, so that'd be something to keep an eye on, but they have a winnable, a manageable schedule, and so I'm curious to see where this Cape team can go. But for the rest of the tournament, I know Dexter on the consolation side, Dexter blew out Kennan 11-3. And then Notre Dame, they bounced back, beat Kelly 4-0. Great start there by Houston Crawford for him. He went all 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, 13 Ks in the ball game. So a phenomenal start by Crawford. Got the offense around him just enough going, gave up no runs. So what more can you ask for out of your starting pitcher? So yeah, Notre Dame moved into the consolation championship to face Dexter. And I might actually know what I think I actually know what the result of that is. Notre Dame did win the consolation championship 4-1 over Dexter on Monday to finish with a victory. So Notre Dame, they lost a tight one to Cape, a good Cape team now, you can definitely say. And hey, they went on to win 2 more ball games after that, bounced back, beat a Kelly team that had just beat them a week or 2 ago now. I remember, I think it was Saturday, so a couple Saturdays ago now. So yeah, Notre Dame playing well. Feels good. Got all the teams here in the Cape County area playing well. So that was exciting to see. And I'm kind of curious to see how these guys are able to close out the season. Obviously, in postseason, they'll be facing some tough competition, especially in the higher classes. But I'm very excited to see where they go from here. I will turn the page to soccer on Monday this past week, the 28th of April. Jackson played Poplar Bluff, won 2-0. Riley Monaghan, Rudy Klun got in the score column for the Indians. I think both goals came in the first half, I believe if memory serves correctly. So a lot of these wins for the Indians, been a lot of dominating possession, really just controlling the possession, not giving up a lot of opportunities for their opponent. We'll get to opponent here. They had a few opportunities in a minute. But they've been really controlling possession, just making things easy for goalie Cameron Alsdorf. Defense is playing well, getting balls out of the box, things like that. So, and they're scoring enough. Riley Monaghan especially, she's been playing really, really well, putting the ball in the back of the net lately. So yeah, it's good to see. Indians is always a powerhouse in the area, and they kind of keep it rolling. Then later on Monday, St. Pius X knocked off Notre Dame 2-1 in double overtime. Tough loss for the Bulldogs. They had really been playing well as of late, picking up a lot of wins. A good St. Pius team, though. Can't hang your head about that one. And then St. Vincent took care of Saxony 8-0. Not a lot to say about that. We kind of mentioned ahead of time. The St. Vincent team is good. They picked up a couple of losses to Jackson and Notre Dame, but they are very, very solid. They beat a lot of big schools. They play a tough schedule. So, yeah, Saxony kind of got smoked there by St. Vincent. Wednesday, lopsided day of games. Saxony, 180. They beat Kelly 8-0. Kelly, once again, shout out to Kelly. They keep playing some of the bigger, better schools in the area. Not going their way a lot of times, but they do step up, lose to Saxony 8-0. And then Cape, they played North County and won that one 8-0 as well. So a couple of big wins there here in Cape County. On the flip side, Jackson had to go on the road to St. Louis and play Corhezu, who's the reigning Class 3 state champions. They moved up to Class 4 now this year, I believe. I mean, they're the best team in the state. I saw one guy's ranking, kind of puts everybody into his computer algorithm and spit out that Corhezu is head and shoulders better than everybody in the state. They have the Gatorade Player of the Year in the state, who's only a sophomore from last year, I think. So they dispatched Jackson 5-0. I don't know where Jackson can go from here. Once again, just when you go up to play Corhezu, and they're probably going to be seeing Corhezu in the postseason potentially. So, Corhezu is kind of one of those monsters that not a lot you can do. Just got to tip your cap and hope for the best. But on Thursday, Notre Dame bounced back from their double overtime loss. They played SEMO conference opponent Poplar Bluff, won 1-0. So nice bounce back for them. Playing well defensively. And then speaking of playing well defensively, Jackson did the same thing on Friday, won 1-0 over Northwest up in Cedar Hill, Missouri, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Maddie Stelling got the goal for the Indians in that one. there's another situation where they just played great defense. They controlled the ball. They had it on, their end of the field throughout. Didn't give many opportunities for Northwest to get looks at the goal. Playing really, really good defense. Shout out to Coach B-Sink, doing well over at Jackson. And then Cape, they get the bad side of Poplar Bluff revenge there. Poplar Bluff beats Cape 4-0 after losing to Notre Dame the night before. Tough loss for the Tigers. They've been playing really, really well lately. Hopefully it doesn't cut them down too much. Hopefully there's no late season fatigue, injuries, things like that. They keep up this good play that they've been kind of exhibiting here lately. And on Saturday, Saxony picked up a big win over a SEMO conference team, Sykeston. They knocked off the Bulldogs 2-0. So a good week for everybody here in the area, I'd say, on the girls soccer side of things. A lot of people picking up big wins, nice conference wins, nice local wins, things like that. And then looking at, that does it for girls soccer. And then looking at some tennis, we actually got to singles, the state singles or the district singles tournament for Jackson and Cape. But before that, Jackson, played some of their last home games, senior night, things like that. They beat Sykeston 9-0, and Cape beat Dexter this past week 8-0 as a team as well. The singles tournament, Class 3 District 1s, where Jackson is at, they went up to John Burroughs and played. Didn't go their way. John Burroughs, I believe they pretty much dominated the entire tournament. They had the top two guys in the singles tournament playing each other for the championship. I believe their doubles team won the championship as well. So it is what it is once you get up to that level. And then Class 2 District 1, Cape and Notre Dame were at Farmington. And Matthew Austin of Notre Dame beat Owen Blattle of Notre Dame for the singles championship. So an all-Bulldog affair up there. So shout out to them. Matthew Austin obviously been playing really, really well this year. Knocked off Owen Blattle for the singles championship. So congrats to them. The team tournaments will be coming up soon, coming up later this week. So keep a lookout for that. I'll mention this past week, boys volleyball. Saxony and Notre Dame both kind of busy. Saxony took on Seckman. They went up there and knocked off the Jaguars in 5 sets, 3-2. It's a nice gritty win for the Crusaders. Wednesday, Notre Dame took on St. Mary's Southside and swept them 3-0. And on Thursday, Notre Dame and Saxony both took on a very, very good Lutheran St. Charles team. And let's say things didn't go the way you might have expected. Notre Dame falls 2-1 to Lutheran St. Charles, but Saxony beats them 2-0. So a big win there for the Crusaders over a good program up in St. Charles. Lutheran's always tough across the board, really, in sports. So nice win in volleyball. And then we had, it was a big SEMO conference tournament week this past week. The SEMO conference tournament in golf happened down at Sykeston, Foxhaven, and Jimmy Williams of Jackson. Jackson played really well as a team. They finished second behind Poplar Bluff, who's having a historic year as a team. I mean, they've got guys finishing, they've usually put 2, 3, 4 guys on the top 5 of every tournament they're playing in. So Poplar Bluff as a team shot even. Jackson was 8 strokes back from them, got second as a team, shot 292, some nice job there. Notre Dame got 4th as a team, shot 321, Cape 6th at 338, and Saxony 7th at 363. I think that was out of 10 teams, so good finish there for the Crusaders. On the individual side, though, Jimmy Williams from Jackson actually had to play a 4-man playoff hole for the individual championship. There's 4 guys, I think 2 from Bluff, 1 from Dexter, Christian kid, and Williams from Jackson. They were all sitting at 1 under, sitting at 70. And Williams got the victory for the Indians, the individual victory, that is. He had a just really good tee shot as par 3, and he landed it within a few feet of the hole. Everybody else missed the green, and so big win there for Jimmy Williams. He's been playing really well lately. Individually, though, a few more Indians finished top 10. Ian Lambert actually tied for 5th. He shot even par 71, so he was just 1 stroke back of that 4-man playoff hole. Drew Eller of Jackson was 4 over, finishing 9th, and then Marshall Earnhardt was 5 over, coming in tied for 10th. So a lot of Indians playing really, really well in golf right now. Excited to see, kind of where they land here once we get into the postseason. Looks like Jackson has a good shot to maybe make some noise. Maybe not. If they don't qualify as a team for state, they'll definitely put a couple individuals in, if I had to guess. But yeah, now I'll get into another fun event that I went to take in over at Notre Dame was the all SEMO conference track meet. I am a big fan of track and field, and makes it a lot easier when there's some really, really talented individuals around this area. And this year is no exception. I went over to Notre Dame. It was cool. It was windy. It was rainy for a little while. I did survive the rain, barely. We got started. I want to say we completed the 4x8, and then it just poured down. So a lot of people hiding in the gym, hiding under bleachers, hiding in the track shed. Made it through on the other side. Was freezing cold for about an hour, soaking wet. But got to see some great talent out there. Like I mentioned, it was the all SEMO conference event. So, everybody in Southeast Missouri was there. It was from Hayti to Jackson, Saxony to Poplar Bluff to Doniphan out west to, everywhere in between in the Boot Heel, Crothersville, Charleston, Malden, etc. Everybody was there in Southeast Missouri. So big time meet. The best of the best in Southeast Missouri were all there. And they had some really, really impressive performances. I'll kind of go through here. Like I said, everybody ran together regardless of what, division you're in. So they have it split up like north, south, I want to say east, west, maybe central, west. I don't remember exactly. But but they ran everybody together, and then you kind of got your points, and finishing was determined by if you were in the SEMO conference north, south, whatever. So I'll kind of try to delineate between those two things here, but I'll start boys side 100-meter dash. Blaine Reagan. Barrett was not running. I don't know the status there. I don't know if it's injury, rest, what. If it is injury, I hope he gets well soon. I mean, he's a stud. He is, he would be up here in the top 2, 3, 4 of every single race he participated in. So we only got to see one Reagan brother this past Saturday, but Blaine made the most of it. I'll just go race by race here. 100-meter dash. He wins in 10.74. Ahead of the next closest competitor was 10.97. So a dominant run by Reagan. I know just the people I was sitting around, weren't Jackson people. They were very impressed seeing what he can do. He is the real deal. The next highest Cape County guy, Memphis Maddox, also from Jackson. He came in 4th out of SEMO Conference North runners. I mean, he's the highest freshman on the list at 11.44. He's having a really good season here, especially at the end. He's running really well. Right behind him was Andy Peterson of Notre Dame, running 11.47. So some good finishes. Obviously, Reagan continued his dominant stretch in the 200, where he finished first in 21.49, ahead of the same guy from Poplar Bluff in 21.91. So an even bigger win. 21.49 is awesome because, it correlates perfectly, right? He ran 10.7. He ran 21.4. That's impressive power, just being able to continue that pace on for the full 200 meters. So he comes in first overall in the 200, first in the SEMO Conference North. Memphis Maddox, once again, is the next highest guy here in the county. Coming in third, SEMO Conference North runners in 23.05, so nice time there for Memphis. Excited to see what he's going to be doing on the football field next year. A great, great track athlete. See how it translates. And then, wash, rinse, repeat, death taxes, Blaine Reagan, 400 meters. He wins by over a second, 1.23 seconds. He ran 49.62, which at this point is crazy how ho-hum I am about 49.62 because I remember in high school, if guys were going sub 50 around this area, it was huge. I mean, like I talk about him all the time. Brandon Wright was my teammate. He was the fastest kid we had in Southeast Missouri at Jackson, et cetera. And I mean, he was hovering 50 all the time. He went 49 a few times, handful of times. I think got to 48 maybe in his career. I don't know, but Reagan can just walk out there and run 49 at least every time he comes out there. So another win, 3 individual races, 3 gold medals for Blaine Reagan. And then locally here, Maxim Mayhew ran a great race, came in second in his division, going 53.64. So nice run by Maxim. I mean, he's continued to run well. He's been one of these guys in a lot of the meets he's in, finishing first or near the top in the 400. So I'm excited to see where he keeps going, especially where Saxony's at, lower classification. Definitely has a chance to make some noise, and only a junior, so another year to kind of improve. Nolan Kentner, another junior from Jackson. He came in third in the SEMO Conference North, 54.50 for Nolan. So good race there in the 400. In the 800, highest local finisher there, Elijah Cheek, only a freshman from Cape Central. You're going to hear a lot of that. There's a good freshman class, in my opinion, here. And like just looking at, Cape Jackson, Notre Dame, Saxony, those 4 schools, there's a lot of really, really talented freshmen that are showing up in track. I mean, this past year in basketball, you've seen them in girls basketball, boys basketball, football. There's some dudes. So this freshman class seems to have some real studs in it. And, the 800, like I said, no exception. Elijah Cheek comes in second overall, second in the SEMO Conference North, 205. Nate Meisner coming in behind him, 206. So good runs out of those guys. In the 16, another one of those super freshmen. This one from this time Notre Dame, star distance runner Aiden Morris comes in first in the 16. 9th grader running 4:33. They doubled him up, and he won both the 16 and the 3,200. He won the 3,200 in 10:05, so a big day on the track for Aiden. A couple gold medals at his first SEMO conference meet. Not too shabby. In the 16, it was a all-Cape County top 4. Like I said, Morris came in first at 4:33. Nate Meisner of Jackson, a sophomore, came in at 4:35. Aiden Nieboski from Jackson, 4:39. And then Jackson Jones of Notre Dame, 4:49. So good day at the track for Cape County. And like I said, 32, Aiden Morris won. Getting used to seeing him win a lot of 3,200s. Once again, this kid's going to make noise in the state meet, in my opinion. He came in first. Aiden Nieboski, another double up. He ran 10:06, so a second behind Aiden. And then Chase Wendell of Jackson came in third, a sophomore himself, 10:18 there in the 3,200. Mark Ritchie from Saxony comes in first in his division, running 11:55, so good job there. Next thing on the list, the biggest upset of the day, probably by far, the 110 hurdles, Nashawn Davis from Saxony, a fantastic run in the hurdles, 15:67, knocks off the best in the area, Patrick Slack. Slack hit a hurdle. I want to say it was third to last hurdle he hit. Kind of got him off balance, could never really regain his form. Davis ran clean, didn't hit any hurdles. Put his head down across the finish line, came in front of Slack, who's one of the best in the States. Slack had run sub 14, I think. So, he's unbelievable. But yeah, Davis, it's his day today, man. Gold medal. Congrats to Nashawn. Good basketball player over there at Saxony. Only a junior. Going to see a lot of improvement from him. Then another freshman here, second in the SEMO Conference North, Demarion Williams from Cape Central, 16:24. You got a big bang, 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 bang of guys here. You got Warren Eanes right behind him, 16:32 from Cape. And then Sam Carr from Notre Dame comes in 16:45. And then Tucker Teague, another freshman from Jackson, 16:81. So fantastic hurdling. Patrick Slack got the last laugh in the 300 hurdles, though. He was able to just edge out Trenton Powell in Notre Dame. Powell comes in second. Was it a 10th behind Patrick Slack? So those two are the class of Southeast Missouri in the 300 hurdles. They're pretty consistently going sub 40 seconds. So those guys are the real deal. Excited to see, how their season progresses. Warren Eanes came in third from Cape, and then fifth, Demarion Williams from Cape Central. So a lot of the same guys doubling up, running well in the 110 and 300 hurdles. And in the relays, 4x1, Notre Dame comes in third. Jackson comes in fourth overall. 4x200, Jackson comes in second overall. Notre Dame's right behind them. 1.1 seconds behind them there. And 4x4, Jackson was the highest finisher. They came in second in the SEMO Conference North, third overall at 340. And the 4x8, which got in right as the rain started there, the last lap or two. Jackson won that pretty convincingly, 8:19. The next closest was Woodland at 8:23. So Jackson really dominated the 4x800. There was never really a doubt. Over on the field side of things for the boys, Ryan Larry from Jackson jumped really well, high jumping, finishing first, 1.83 meters. Pretty commanding win by him. So nice job, nice jumping there by Larry. In the long jump, the highest guy around here, Evan Turley from Jackson, a sophomore, jumped 6.17. Parker Altenthal next behind him, 5.97. Triple jump, Evan Turley again, kind of showing off the athleticism, the leaping ability, good wide receiver for the Indians. He comes in second overall, 12.93 meters. Tucker Teague, just a couple of spots behind him at 12.7. Some young, good, talented players on multi-surfaces there for the Indians, coming over to the jumps, doing well. Pole vaulting, another death taxes, Kent Sheridan, swallowed the field up. I mean, he dominated, 4.75 meters up near his PR. Next closest, it's a lot of Cape County people here. I'll just go through them. Ellis Bruni at 4.24. Mason Turley, 4.14. Parker Altenthal, 4.14. Jeffrey Keck of Notre Dame, 3.63. And then Landon Kohler of Cape Central, 3.5. So a lot of local guys kind of dominating there. But it's Kent Sheridan. I mean, he is going to beat anybody in the area, pole vaulting. And, just keep up the consistency and just, do it once we get to the postseason. I'm excited to see where he lands. The discus, Bryson Wessel, Gavin Shin went 2-3 in the SEMO Conference North, both throwing over 46, 46.7, 46.4 respectively. In the shot put, it was all Tigers at the top here. Isaiah Husky launched a massive 17.3 in the shot put. Then behind him, Zykel Hall at 14.8. Gavin Shin came in third there, 14.83. Just a couple of, just a hair behind Zykel. So good throws there by those guys. I mean, Isaiah Husky is going to make noise as well in the shot there up at State. Only a junior, so even more improvement coming for him. We can move over to the girls' side. Probably, maybe the most anticipated race for me was the girls' 100-meter dash. You have really, really good athletes in the 100 for the girls. You have two athletes down at New Madrid, Aranji Jackson and Maya Bills. Maya Bills is the reigning state champion in her class in the 100. You have Taraji Riley, who's only a freshman at Cape. And then Aaliyah Jackson, Brooklyn Williams, maybe a step below those three, but Jackson and Williams, always fantastic, always medaling at all these races. And this time it was Bills. The Maya Bills, the reigning state champion in the 100, just edged out Riley at Cape Central. And then Aranji Jackson, another freshman over at New Madrid, and Bills is only a sophomore. So these girls are going to be around for a long time. Bills, Riley Jackson go 1, 2, 3. And then Aaliyah Jackson, a Cape, comes in fourth overall. Brooklyn Williams comes in fifth overall. So good showing there by a couple of Cape runners and Jackson runner there. And then a special shout out to the female athlete of the meet and, making a case for overall athlete of the meet. Carly Kosu down at Chaffee, not Cape Jackson, but she is a beast. She dominates everywhere she goes around this area. The SEMO Conference meet was no exception. She got 4 gold medals in individual races, starting with the 200. She came in first there, 25.61. So, she's just a monster. I'll highlight when she does show up here. The highest in Cape Jackson, Stella Rusler from Jackson, comes in 27.20. And right behind her, Leah Jackson, 27.21. So a nose separating those two. In the 400, it was all Jamie Dawson-Ide, a fantastic basketball player, also a very, very good track athlete on a couple of different disciplines. In the 400, she comes in at a minute flat, dominant there. Second, Elena Kentner in the SEMO Conference North, another freshman from Jackson, coming in at 102. But Dawson-Ide, only a sophomore. So a lot of improvement for those two over the next few years. You'll see Amaya Mackins from Cape Senior finishes at 105. And then Charlotte Jessel comes in fourth in the SEMO Conference North from Jackson, another freshman. So 2 freshmen from the Indians running really, really well. She ran 108. So I keep saying it. There's a lot of freshmen, man. Speaking of that, in the 800, it was a 1-2 Jackson finish. Michaela Drum comes in first, 232. Right behind her, another freshman, Claire Kitchen, 234. And both of them were obviously a big part of the Indians. Eventually, I'll get to it, dominating the 4x800 to start the race. In the 1600, another interesting, battle, I would say. Seeing the Jackson runners go up against the Notre Dame runners here in the distance races. For Jackson, in the 16, it was Annika Barks and Emma Needbalski. For Notre Dame, it's Martina Ressel, another super freshman. And then Lily Coy, I believe a person who finished or scored up there at the state meet last year. So several talented runners here. I think Lily Coy might have finished might have been the cross country. I don't get my wires crossed there, but Barks from Jackson, the senior, comes in first, 5:17, dominant showing, won by 10 seconds over Ressel from Notre Dame. Needbalski from Jackson comes in third, 5:31, and then Coy behind her at 5:41. So good race there. Carried over to the 3200 where Annika Barks from Jackson won there as well. Even bigger, 11:21. Over second place, Ressel comes in at 11:35, so a 14-second win there. And Coy is at 11:54. And then Annika Stevens from Jackson comes in there at fourth place. So good running. Mentioned her earlier, Carly Kosu, first place in the girls' 100-meter hurdles as well. But Maria Sire, she gets second in the SEMO Conference North, 16:68. Right behind her, Maya Farrar from Cape Central. And then Abigail Haley from Saxony. And then Lily Williams from Cape Central, another freshman. And then right behind her, Kendall Leland from Jackson. So a lot of Cape County runners kind of bunched in there together. In the 300 hurdles, Carly Kosu wins first once again. Locally here, Lily Carr comes in second in the North, 49.99, so getting there under 50. Kendall Leland from Jackson right behind her at 50.13. These people just all hang out here right together. Maya Farrar, 50.16. Abigail Haley at 51.15. So a lot of people kind of stuck in there together. And the 4x100, get to the relays. Cape comes in first in the North, but do finish second overall behind New Madrid. It goes Cape, then Jackson, then Notre Dame in the North. 1, 2, 3. In the 4x200, it's Cape Central coming up first overall, then Jackson, then Saxony. In the 4x4, Jackson comes in first by 3 seconds over Notre Dame. In the 4x800, Jackson won by a mile. They won 10:08 flat. And then Notre Dame came in second at 10:33. Over on the field side of things, a lot of good showing, once again, from Cape County athletes. Adeline Prater from Jackson gets the win in the high jump. Stella Rusler comes in second. On the long jump, Brooklyn Williams from Jackson gets first in the North, but second overall. Taraji Riley comes in second. Rayleigh Matthews is behind her. And then Galati from Notre Dame is behind her. Jamie Austin-Dyed comes in fourth in the North. So a jam-packed, top 5 there, all from SEMO Conference North, all from Cape County. And then our last, Carly Kosu sighting from Chaffee. She wins the triple jump in 11.18, coming in over Grayson Maurer, second overall. First in the North from Notre Dame. She gets second at 10.8. Stella Rusler from Jackson, 10.49. Riley from Cape, 10.44. And Lily Carr from Notre Dame, 10.41. And then we got a special shout-out to my dentist, Dr. Fox. His daughter, Amelia Fox, got first in the pole vault, only a freshman, 3.35, beating out Abigail Spooler, who had the same height. And Casey Call comes in third overall, 3.05 there from Saxony. Lily Morningstar, fifth overall from Jackson. Good showing out of them. And then shout out to my long time ago in a galaxy far, far away sprint coach, Coach Gross. His daughter, Emerson, Dominant in the throws, wins the discus 37.4. Wins by over 3 meters, or wins by over 2 meters there, sorry. Layla Bergfield from Cape comes in second in the north. And then on the shot put, dominant there again, almost a full meter. She throws 11.15 to get the win there. Emily Sterling from Cape, second in the north. Mary Human, Anna Knippen from Jackson. So good showing by all the local runners there at the SEMO conference meet. Overall, the meet, I would say, entertaining, fun. It would have been cool if it didn't rain and everything got muddy. That would have been a lot better if we didn't have to do that, but can't control that. I was over at Notre Dame. The positive about it being Notre Dame is everything is very tightly located, which could also be a negative because you got a lot of people jam-packed into the same area trying to look at the same stuff. But, at a bigger venue like, say, Cape Central, the throwers are like a mile away from where I'm sitting watching the runners, finish over on the track. So some positive, some negative. Overall, great meet. A lot of really, really talented runners came over there and, really showed out. So we can kind of get into what we got going on this week. As I mentioned, final day here of the SEMO Conference Tournament. Notre Dame won the Consolation Championship. Saxony, I just saw the score update here. They beat Scott County Central 21-1. Holy moly. Saxony can do that, man. They play somebody that's pitching is not up to par. They will just mash. But continuing on with baseball, this Tuesday, May 6th, Saxony takes on Woodland. Should be a good one. Wednesday, Jackson goes up to Kirkwood, which will be a tough contest up there in St. Louis for the Indians. But the Indians have a little bit of positive momentum, see if they can carry it up there. But Kirkwood, definitely a very good team. The Indians bounce back, play Thursday at Kelly. Take the bus down there to Kelly. Scrappy Kelly team, cannot overlook them. So I would pick Jackson to win, but it will not come easily, if I had to guess. Cape will host Poplar Bluff. Should be a great game. Two of the best teams in the SEMO Conference. Speaking of good teams, Notre Dame will be hosting Scott City, who I believe now is 21-1, give or take. So, very tough contest for Scott City, or for Notre Dame. A lot of studs over there at Scott City. Kobe Watson, a familiar name from basketball. So, should be a good one. Definitely going to check that out. Get over there to Notre Dame. That was another positive, the track meet being at Notre Dame. I live 3 minutes from Notre Dame, so 10 out of 10 there. Saxony also hosts Delta on Thursday. So a full slate here in Cape Jackson area. 4 games going on Thursday. Friday, Notre Dame takes a long bus drive, at least it's what's on the schedule, to Cooter, Missouri. Good luck there. That is a long way down there. So Cooter, always tough. Small school, very small school, but baseball, anything can happen. Flip side, Saturday, we have a busy slate. Cape goes to St. Pius. Team we've seen a few times around here. Definitely a winnable game for the Tigers. And then Jackson will host a couple of very talented opponents coming down here. A game over there I want to go check out. They'll be playing Graves County, Kentucky, and DeSmet. Metro Catholic School up in St. Louis. So it'll be a tough one for the Indians. If they will say a split, I'll be happy with the split. To go 0-2, it will be disappointing, but not like, cancel the season. But it will be a tough one. It'll be tough couple of games there for Jackson. But they've shown the ability to win against very, very good opponents. They played some really, really great teams, very close, like Vianney, who is maybe the best team regardless of classification in the state. Had them right there at the end, but regardless, we'll continue here. And girls soccer, Jackson, you'll know the final time, what time you see it. This Monday, they're at Seckman. Cape on Tuesday will be hosting Carbondale, so the Terriers come over here. It'll be a tough matchup, definitely for the Tigers. And Notre Dame host Perryville to come down, play here. So a couple of good ones in Cape on Tuesday. Wednesday, Jackson will be hosting the St. Vincent team that I believe put it on Saxony this past week. So should be a good matchup. Thursday, Notre Dame hosts Murfreesboro, Illinois, so another tough out-of-state opponent. And Friday, Cape at Saxony, a in-conference rivalry there. Should be a good one. Definitely be checking that one out. On the golf course, looks like we have a few good matchups. Looks like Saxony is going to be up at North County. Not exactly sure where they're going to be playing at, but we got a few district tournaments coming up. Jackson, Class 5, District 1, Thursday, May 8th. Notre Dame, Class 3, District 1, May 9th. Let's see, Cape Central, Class 4, District 1 is not till the 12th, so we'll get there when we get there. But, a couple of district tournaments. Like I said, Jackson's playing well. We'll see if they're able to make some noise up there. Class 5, though, very, very tough. A lot of good golfers. Notre Dame will be in Class 3. Should be interesting. Definitely going to check it out. And then Saxony will be in Class 2, District 1 tournament on May 10th on Saturday. So we're getting there. We're right here at the nitty-gritty, man. We are at the end of the season, end of the school year, end of the season for a lot of these seasons. Speaking of that, tennis. Jackson will be playing in the Class 3 District 1 team tournament today, Monday. And Notre Dame and Cape are up at the Class 2 District 1 team tournament, so we'll see how those turn out, see if any of those guys advance. Notre Dame has a good shot. I just said they had a couple guys duking it out for the district singles championship, so I like the Bulldogs over at Farmington. I think it's at Farmington. Speaking of Bulldogs, they will be playing a couple of volleyball games this week. Saxony goes up to Glen Carbon, Illinois, a little bit of a bus ride there to Father McGivney. Tuesday, Notre Dame and Saxony will be taking on at Notre Dame. So the local game there between those two should be a fun one. 6:15. If you're seeing this before then, go check it out. Should be a great matchup. Wednesday, Notre Dame is at St. Pius X. And because St. Pius X loves Cape County so much, they will be coming back and playing Saxony on Thursday. So it'll be a couple of good ball games there for Saxony and Notre Dame. And then on the track, kind of where I will wrap up here, Jackson and Cape will be going up to Hillsboro for an invitational on Friday, May 9th. Should be a good one. There's pretty good teams going to be up there, and I was looking at it earlier. You've got MICDS, you've got Rockbridge, Battle, so some Columbia teams, a lot of St. Louis schools will be there. Should be a good one. Should be pretty good competition. I'll see who runs for each team, obviously. You never know. Different coaches do things differently, have runners rest here and there. Blaine Reagan just ran 4 races. We'll see if he runs any this week. Who knows? Then Saturday, Saxony will be at the Class 2 District 1 meet themselves, so they are here at postseason time. The Class 2 District 1 meet, let me see here, will be at Scott City, so not too far away. Definitely an opportunity for a lot of Saxony runners and field athletes to compete really, really well. I've seen a lot of these guys. They've been doing well. Would not surprise me at all to see a lot of them kind of advance up to state. So, yeah, it's going to be an exciting week. We are at the nitty-gritty here. The only, random shout-out here I've got is just saw right before I started recording, Cameron Williams, former Cape Central basketball star, is committed to the University of Portland. The Pilots up there, a little far away from Cape Girardeau, up there in the Pacific Northwest. Cam's going to be going to Portland, so that should be exciting. You'll be able to watch them on ESPN Plus all the time. Portland is a D1 school up there, so very excited for Cam. Great player, hard worker. Spent a couple years in JUCO, went to Moberly, transferred down to Trinity Valley in Texas, won a national title in JUCO Division I. Was All-American, was a fantastic player there at Trinity Valley, and now parlayed that up into a big D1 scholarship. And he'll be taking on the West Coast Conference up there, Portland. So, assuming we don't get any more shakeups conference-wise this offseason going into next year, you get to see Cam play Gonzaga, Cam play St. Mary's, San Francisco. So, it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be very, very cool. You know, I spent a lot of years working at the Sportsplex. Always proud of Cam. He's always in the gym with his dad all the time, working out, training little kids on, basketball, basic skills, advanced skills. So, yep, great kid. I'm happy for him, happy for everything he gets out of this basketball journey he's on, and excited to see it continue. So, be able to watch all of his games on ESPN Plus, like I said, so that'll be nice, convenient, easy. Don't have to search for him in random CD websites, JUCO websites. So congrats to Cam, and, congrats to all these guys here in Southeast Missouri currently, all the prep athletes down here right now, kind of finishing up their senior seasons, all the spring sports. We're at the nitty-gritty, like I said. We've completed all the SEMO conference, this, that, and the other. So we're getting into districts and district tournaments, district meets, etc. So we're at the very end. It's been exciting. It's been a fun year. It's been a great ride doing this. We'll keep it going. I enjoy it. Hope at least a few of you also enjoy listening to it every once in a while. So as always, it's a great time. I appreciate everybody who does listen, who watches. Appreciate it a lot. Like I said, as always, none of this is for self-glorification in any way. I just do it to hopefully shed light on some of these guys and girls and how hard they work, the time they put in, and the results that they get from it. So it's been a fun school year. We got a few more weeks left here of the spring season. So thank you all for listening, watching. As always, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, leave a 5-star review, whatever you got to do. Any platform you're on, make sure to check us out on all social media. Just look up Exit 99 Sports. Post the videos, YouTube, Facebook. We're on Spotify, Apple, Amazon Music. So anywhere you listen, anywhere you watch, we should be there. If you have any special requests on where to put it at, I can upload it anywhere. So just holler at me, slide in the DMs. But until then, I thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Have a good one, everybody. We will see you next time.